Thank you so much for being part of this show this far. We keep updating you on what exactly is happening around the regions and beyond. My name is Samuel Njoroge, and our sign language interpreter for this hour will be Walter Asewe. Now, there's that story that is currently at the bottom of your screen where the former TLB boss, that is Hassan Ole Kamwaro, is dead. We all know that he has been battling cancer for quite a long time. This morning, he has succumbed to it. So our condolences to the family and friends of the late Hassan Ole Kamwaro. Now, moving on to other stories of the hour is that we are focusing predominantly on census this particular hour. And right about now, I'd like to bring in our reporter, Tim Simwa, who joins us live from Uasin Gishu County. But of course, on this other end, we've got court proceedings that are currently ongoing. And that is the divorce case of Mithika Linturi versus Mary Keitani. And we've got our team on the ground. And in the course of this show, we shall be interacting with this particular event. But for now, here is Tim Simwa, who's joining us live with an update on what progress has been made in as far as the census 2019 is concerned. Thank you so much for joining us, Tim. Kindly give us an update as of now.
Well, arguably, some at this point in time, of course, a good number of Uasin Gishu residents have been enumerated, and maybe just a little bit of history. The last census, when the last census was conducted, Uasin Gishu as a county had at least 894,000 people, and of course, with this census, the expectations are that the numbers have actually grown tremendously, of course, owing to the increased population within Eldoret town, which is the headquarters of Uasin Gishu County. But nevertheless, since when the process started, the process, I can say that it has been very swift and smooth. We've never had any incident that would say would leave the whole process in jeopardy. And up to this point, we're also hoping that by 31st, when the exercise comes to conclusion, it will keep the same pace. So in the meantime, Sam, just allow me to interact with a few of the residents of Uasin Gishu County. They're going to tell us, and luckily, I've had to just secure an interview with one of the enumerators on the ground. Is going to tell us maybe up to this point in time, where are you, how has been the process so far, and are you done with the enumeration of Uasin Gishu County residents? Begin by telling us your name.
My name is Soy Kibet Livingstone. I'm a enumerator. Chepkoilel sub-location, Sigot location, and I was given an area which I was to cover, and so far so good. I'm happy to say that I've covered the whole area. I was able to meet all the residents of the place, and as I'm talking now, I'm returning the documents and the gadgets to the owners and to the KNBS, and meanwhile, in few minutes, I'll be meeting them so that I surrender their documents. And of course, this thing has some challenges, and we are able to encounter some of them. Remember, in Uasin Gishu County, we have Wadosi, and the gates to access was a problem. We had to spend overnight. We had to wait them on Sunday when they were going to church so that we were able to interview them. And lucky enough, we were able to manage to get them. And so far, so good. I want to report that we are done in my area. I don't know the other people, but myself, I'm done. And if you can see in my hand, I'm handing over the gadgets in few minutes. And I want to say the exercise has been very tiresome, many questions, residents, some who are not cooperating, but finally we are able to manage.
We have seen in some other areas, for instance in Kilifi County, enumerators downing tools to protest unpaid allowances. Have you also encountered maybe similar problems in Uasin Gishu County?
Personally, I was paid a day before I was given the documents, and I can't complain that much because maruburubu nilipata mimi mwenyewe. So in Uasin Gishu, Chepkoilel's location, we were given all we required.
You talked about challenges. Maybe did you encounter a case where a family completely refused to be enumerated?
No, in my area, people were cooperating. In fact, some were very happy when they see me coming in and they say we were waiting for the census people, and they were very happy. They cooperated and never had any challenge in interviews.
Thank you very much, sir, for that contribution. Maybe niungane tu na mkazi mwingine, utatuambia majina yako na labda kufikia sasa wewe umehesabiwa au bado. Na kama umehesabiwa kama kijana, ni matarajio yepi unayo kuhusiana tu na swala zima la census tunapoenda mbele kama taifa?
Okay, shukrani, asante sana watangazaji. Kwa majina naitwa Titus Kimutai Arabagui. Mimi ni mkazi wa hapa Uasin Gishu. Na kama kijana nimefurahi sana census niliona tulifurahia sana. Kama wakazi wa Uasin Gishu tulifurahia na tuliona kwamba watu walijitokeza, watu walitii, lakini sasa challenge ama kila ambacho tungependa kuuliza serikali ni kwamba baada ya kuhesabuliwa sijui tutapata nini. Yani tunasikia kwamba tunahesabuliwa tujue resources ambazo zitafika katika kaunti zetu tofauti. Lakini isikuwe tu mambo ya kusema tu na iingizwe kwa siasa. Sisi tulijitokeza, tunatarajia sasa mambo mema yafanyike katika kaunti yetu ya Uasin Gishu. Asante sana. Na pia ningependa tu niombe next time kama kutakuwa na hii mambo ya census, maswali ikuwe maswali ambayo yanatusaidia. Kwa mfano tulikuwa na ungefika mahali pengine unasikia watu wanasema tumeulizwa huko na bibi wangapi. Sasa kijana kama mimi niko na bibi wangapi jamani? Kwa hivyo maswali kama hayo jamani, tuache mambo kama hayo. Tukue serious, tuulize kama uko na shamba, tuone vile tutasaidiwa tupate shamba. Kama hauna tupewe mashamba ama namna gani? Asante sana.
Asante sana bro. Labda niweze kupata tu maoni ya mzee wangu hapa. Mzee wangu, kufikia hadi sasa umehesabiwa ama bado? Na labda unaishi mtaa gani? Utaanza kutuambia majina yako?
Mimi kwa majina naitwa Boniface Kimoran. Mimi ni mkaazi wa hapa Eldoret. Nimekuwa hapa kwa muda. Na mimi ni mkaaji wa hapa mwanzo. Kufikia sasa hivi sijawahi kuona mtu yeyote akifika katika mlango wangu. Kwa sababu tumekuwa tukiongoja usiku na mchana. Licha ya kwamba tunashangaa, tuliambiwa ya kwamba kuna watu ambao wako tayari kukuja kutuhesabu. Lakini mimi nimekaa mpaka nikirudi kwa nyumba nauliza, jameni, mumeona watu wenye wanakuja kuhesabu? Tunaambiwa ya kwamba hatujaona yeyote. Mpaka hata sisi tunasikia tu huko nje ya kwamba watu wamehesabiwa, naulizwa maswali, sijui uko na TV, uko na radio, uko na kuku ngapi, tunashindwa. Mpaka mimi nikajiuliza, kwa nini haya maswali yote tunaulizwa? Kwani serikali inataka kutusaidia ama kujua ni nini tuko nayo, wakuja wauze, tuende tulipe hii madeni yenye tunadaiwa na nchi kama za China ama ni nini? Wengine wanasema kwamba wanataka kutusaidia, lakini mimi nikiangalia kabisa hii swala ya kusema kwamba Wakenya tuhesabiwe, mimi nikijaribu kuangazia kidogo, sijakuwa na matarajio mengi ya kwamba labda serikali inaweza kutusaidia, kwa sababu tumeona mara mingi wanasiasa wanakuja wanatuahidi mambo makubwa na kisha baada ya hawa kuondoka wanasahau mambo ya mwananchi anabaki tu na shida zake zile. Sasa mimi ninashindwa, wakikuja ni sawa, wasipokuja kunihesabu pia mradi najua mimi ni Mkenya.
Asante sana mzee wangu. Sam, those are some of the comments we've heard from residents of Uasin Gishu County. The irony in it all is that one of the enumerators told us that he has at least is actually done enumerating the place that he was allocated, while on the other hand there are some areas that people are still waiting for the enumerators to show up and count them to make them part of the statistic. Nevertheless, they are very hopeful about these statistics. They are hoping that at the end of the day, in as much as they cannot make meaning out of the sum of the questions that have been asked, they are hoping that the government will still move in and make sure that they are improving their living standards and addressing some of the intractable problems that Kenyans continue to face every day. That's all we had for now. Back to you in studio, Sam.
All right, thank you so much, Tim. But kindly, if you can hear me, Eldoret was one of those areas where time was actually increased for this particular exercise to be conducted. I don't know, has that helped the situation on the ground?
So far, so good, Sam. I would tell you that a greater number of people have been counted up to this point in time. And of course, with the more time that was given to some of the areas of which Eldoret was one of them, of course, from 6 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. in the evening, that has kind of actually helped to make sure that a good number of households are being actually reached. But as I told you, Sam, Eldoret has seen an increase in population in the recent years, and that could explain maybe the reason as to why some of the families are yet to be reached. But nevertheless, in as much as the exercise is entering its home stretch, we still have at least 2 more days to go, and hoping that by the time this whole exercise comes to a stop or to an end, the remaining residents or areas that have not been covered will have been enumerated by that time. Sam.
Thank you so much, Timothy Simwa, for that update live from Uasin Gishu County. Now, it is proper to note that each and every census activity that happens in the country is more or less a summative process of what has been termed as an evaluation over time. There's a reason why the government issues birth certificates, death certificates, and marriage certificates, and that is to inform the characteristics around growth rate, birth rate, death rate, infant mortality rate. So for those of you who are concerned that there could be some discrepancies in terms of the numbers that will be obtained this particular year versus the estimates that we've been getting from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, well, if this process will actually be respected and followed to the letter, then that should not be a concern anymore. Population characteristics will be part and parcel of what enumerators will be getting from this particular exercise. And remember, it spans beyond that. They'll also be looking into other thematic areas, key among them education, labor, ICT, disability, housing units, housing amenities, and for the first time, they will be including agriculture, and that is crop farming, because previously, for the past 7 census that the country has conducted, they've only been concentrating on a count on livestock, but this time around, they've introduced agriculture where they will also give priority to crop farming. So these are some of the issues that we shall keep following up for you, even as KNBS, together with the Ministry of Treasury and National Planning, embarks on an exercise to reconcile the information within the next 3 months for provisional results, 6 months for actual results, and 1 year for comprehensive, well-analyzed results of the 2019 population and housing census. Those are some of the issues that we shall be giving priority to, even as we continue having conversations right here in studio around the 2019 housing and population census. But also remember, we did tell you that from the courts today, we will be having that case of Mithika Linturi versus Marian Keitani, and it's currently ongoing in court, and thereabout we've got lawyer Dunstan Omari, who is making a case before the court. So let's listen into what lawyer Omari is currently saying.
We will be urging the media to report very accurately what transpires in this court. So that it does not become a different proceeding outside this court from what transpires and is captured on record. Your Honor, the plaintiff has not played any video as of now. So it was erroneous that sections of the media reported that my client played a video. Yes, the videos will be played as and when we want to play them. Your Honor, we will urge that the court comes out very strongly to protect the integrity of these proceedings, so that we only get what has been said. And may it also go on record that the proceedings in common practice of such a nature are conducted in camera. My client opted to waive that right, even after the court indicated that it is not the norm. And she did that as an adult of sound mind, without any force or pressure. When I may it go on record, it is the petitioner who sought that this matter being a public issue, proceed the way it is proceeding. Those are the three preliminary issues that I had indicated to my learned colleague that we wanted to put our house in order so that when we start the proceedings, we do not have again interjections about what we might have had you are required to do before that. Thank you very much for this.
Your Honor, perhaps because similar concerns have been raised, you should also, I echo my learned friend, and we can go on the record that it was the petitioner's choice. Even when the court questioned about having this matter being heard in public, it was the petitioner's choice. Rather, when the court questioned about the norm, which is that these cases usually proceed in camera, the petitioner expressly told the court, and there was no doubt among any of us, that it was our case, and that is how she desired to have it heard. I am raising this because there have been many complaints in the media that it is the court that has allowed a divorce matter to be aired live and to be heard in public. But it should also go on record, Your Honor, because we took this position very clearly, that speaking for the respondent, we told the court that initially that we will make the decision when we reach that bridge whether we will be heard in camera or in open court. That position has not changed. We will convey to the court when we get there how the respondent would wish his version of the case to be heard. Lastly, Your Honor, as you give directions on the concern raised by Mr. Murray, speaking for the respondent, our concern is that the petitioner has already had a chance to tell her story to the world. My equity teacher back in the day used to tell me, never decide the case of the girl until you hear the boy. The client I represent is an important man in the leadership of this country. Many things have been said about him during the evidence in chief, and as you give your direction, we would very humbly plead with the court, even if we decide to change the nature of this hearing, the world having already been told the girl's case, the boy should get a chance by way of cross-examination to test the truthfulness of the account told by the girl with the same or equal measure of publicity, so that we can then decide once we are done with TW1 how we will proceed going forward. That's all.
There are no further to add what counsel has said because it's not contentious, save that my client's contention was that she conducted a marriage in a public gathering. The people attended a marriage ceremony. The same people have a right to know what happens when that marriage is being dissolved. I know this is a novel approach, but marriages are conducted at public places. And according to her, marriages should be dissolved equally in publicity. And therefore, that is the basis why she waived the norms and said, let this matter be dealt with the way it is done. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentations. I wish to make a formal ruling on this so as to come up our position. Short break, retire to my chambers, and I will be coming soon to give a formal ruling.
Right, and we've got the magistrate there who has just adjourned the sittings or the proceedings currently in court, and he said that once he's back, he's going to make a ruling on some of the issues that have been made by, or submissions that have been made by various lawyers representing both parties, that is Mithika Linturi and Miriam Keitani. But of key interest to us right about now is that request that has been filed by lawyer Dunstan Omari, especially when it comes to the way the media is reporting this particular story, and of course alluding to that video that has been making rounds online about Miriam and Mithika Linturi's wedding. And he says that that video has not been played in court yet, as much as it could be part of the videos that will be played, and therefore the media needs to be informed not to misreport the proceedings that are ongoing currently in a court. And right about now, we need to cross over now to Nyandarua County and bring in our reporter, Joanne Waithera, who joins us live with an update from this particular region. Thank you for joining us, Joanne. Kindly bring us up to speed with what you've prepared for us from Nyandarua County.
Thank you so much, Sam. And we are here at a place called Wanjiko, and I'll be interacting with some of drug addicts at a place called Recovery Retails. And some, according to this guy, they're telling me that they've not been counted as census is concerned. And let me take a chance to talk to one of these members and maybe one of the owners of this place. Tafadhali unaweza nieleza kama nyinyi mmekuwa mmoja wa wale ambao wamehesabiwa wakati huu ambao nchi yetu inaendelea kuhesabiwa watu?
Asante sana, naitwa Titus. Sisi bado hatujahesabiwa. Mara nasikia jana walikuwa wamesema wanakuja, bado nasikia wako na hapo hata juzi walikuwa wamesema tu bado wanakuja. Kwa hivyo hadi sasa hawajafika. Tunawategemea tu ya kuwa wataweza kuja. Na bado hatujahesabiwa. Pengine
unaweza tueleza kulingana na wewe ambao umekuwa ukikaa na watu wako, unaweza tueleza pengine mko watu wangapi hivi?
Hapa kwa rehabilitation center tuko watu wengi, kwa sababu kama ni patients wenye wana recover they are about 80 na kuna about 20 staff members. Kwa hivyo hapa ndani tuko watu 100 ambao tunategemea tutahesabiwa sisi wote.
Na pengine ni ombi lipi ungetaka kurusha kwa serikali ya county ama ambao wanafanya huo mkakati ili waje wahesabu?
Tuseme maybe kazi inaendelea vizuri, lakini shida ni kuwa kama sasa walituambia the first night ya kuwa wanakuja, kisha wakatuambia the following day. Sasa wanafanya tukae hapa tukiwagoja. Kama wangekuwa na mpango mzuri zaidi, maybe wangesema nyinyi tutakuja on Friday, hatugekaa tumegoja. So process nikisikiza watu hapa nje nasikia inaendelea tu, lakini sisi hatujafikiwa. Sasa wanatufanya tukae kama tunawagoja.
Na kwa maana wewe ni mmoja wa wale ambao umesimamia hiki kikao cha kuangalia ambao wamevamiwa na drug abuse, pengine baada ya kukauntiwa, ni ombi lipi ungetaka serikali iwatimizie?
Ningesema hivi, venye serikali bado inakuwa concerned na haya mambo mengine na venye inajitolea kwa hizi kazi zingine, hata hii maneno ya recovery, watu wajitolee, serikali ijitolee na iweze kusupport mambo ya rehabilitation. Ndio.
Na pengine unaweza karibia ili unieleze kuhusu vile mngetaka kuhesabiwa na ili mambo mengine ambayo mngetaka kusaidiwa katika nyumba.
Watakuja nafikiri wanaeleza watu vile wanafaa kuhesabiwa, sivyo? Sasa pia wakikuja hapa watatueleza na sisi tutafuata ile mpangilio wana nini. Lakini sasa nikakuwa na kaswali niulize, sasa vile sisi tuko hapa tutahesabiwa pamoja na jamii wala kwa nyumbani ama itakuwa vipi?
Sam, I don't know how to answer that question, but I'm just hoping that these guys will be among those who will be counted. And according to some other residents, from what I've collected, is that some, like for me, I've also not been counted, and maybe we are hoping that these guys will be able to reach out to other people in Nyandarua County and also in Laikipia County. Back to you, Sam.
Thank you so much, Joan Waithera, for that update live from Nyandarua County. And don't you worry, you will be counted in due time. I mean, we saw the government make a call to all enumerators yesterday through Colonel Cyrus Oguna that they should at least target 20 families or 20 households in a day. So we hope that is actually going to be, enacted on the grassroots and make sure that everyone has been counted. Now, a break is much needed on this show right about now, and that is exactly what we shall do. We return with more content in just a short while. Keep it the Daily Brief.